Ladies and gentlemen, I'm ODPixel here with Lacoste at We Play Tug of War Mad Moon Tournament. We have been brought together to answer some lovely questions, apparently, that We Play has prepared for us, that we're going to pick out from this hat and proceed to ask one another. So, Lacoste, do you want to do the honors?
I'm going to go first.
There we go. Right. What have we got?
When was the last time a girl refused you or dumped you?
Wow. I
didn't know you had a girlfriend before Sheever.
I did. I have one girl.
You did?
I'm kind of boring. I've only had sort of 2 girlfriends in my life, and I've never really been dating, so I've never been dumped or refused.
That's really weird for such a beautiful young man as you are.
Have you ever sent nudes to someone?
Oh, for sure, man. That's how you get into relationships, you know.
Yeah, it's the modern day, you know. It's the 21st century.
You have to do it unless you want to stay a virgin. Show the last photo on your mobile phone.
On me?
Yeah.
All right. What have we got?
Is it going to be a nude?
It's not a nude. Oh, that actually might be a picture of Kyle.
I'd rather see a picture of a
It
dick.
actually is a picture of Kyle. We're on a night out, and I decided, after a few drinks, to sort of just zoom slowly into Kyle's face and take a picture, as you do. When and to whom did you lie about the good meal when it was actually disgusting?
Like a few hours ago, I said my shish kebab was amazing, but it was really not.
Oh, you're just a polite person, right?
Okay, when was the last time you watched porn?
Oh, I mean...
Be honest, Owen. Was it during the break between the series?
It's just, you know, everyone sort of has their ways of getting prepped up before a class, you know?
That's your way?
That's my way. Have you ever accidentally hit something badly with your car, bike, or something and run away?
Yes, I did. When I got my driver's license, I was really not good at parking, so I crashed the car, checked out if anyone saw. No one saw it. I just disappeared. I would not do anything like that right now. I would just leave my number. Who is the most surprising person to slide into your DMs?
Not really surprising.
I just got verified on Twitter.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I did. And I'm waiting for Ariana Grande to actually message me.
Yeah.
I also have a deal with my girlfriend. We don't cheat, but if Ariana Grande approaches me, it's allowed.
So if she's watching?
Yeah, if she's watching right now, like, slide into my DMs. Tell us the last time your parent or a relative lectured you.
All the time. It's every time I'm ringing up my mum. She's been watching my streams, and she's always like, I saw you swearing on your streams. You shouldn't swear as much as you do. And, you know, I'm like, Mum, it's on my personal stream. I'm like, I drop a few F-bombs and S-bombs. You know, I'm swearing all the time. I don't swear on the professional coverage, you know, and that's sort of
Sometimes it slips in.
Sometimes, very rare. But yeah, it's when I'm streaming Dota, you know, so you can't help yourself. The game's frustrating. You're gonna start dropping some cuss words.
Do you think there's a player who never said a curse word and is playing besides GH? Yeah.
GH.
What was the word that he said when we had the
GH with the whole drama? I believe he called someone drunk. And no, in fact, no, he didn't call someone drunk. He was just apologizing because he'd had, I think, half a beer, and he was like, "Sorry, I'm a bit drunk." Poor bless him. Good old GH. Will you play Dota 2 with the nude mod if it existed?
That's what I do during the summer.
No, I think they mean if there was a mod where all the characters are naked.
Oh, yeah.
Why not?
What would be the hero that you want to play? Like
Anti-mage.
Anti-mage? I saw Naked Pangolier on Reddit a couple of days ago.
Well,
he looked hot.
Okay. That's a strong hero.
Have you ever watched hentai?
Not intentionally. You know, I'm on these educational websites, and you always get adverts. You know what I mean? You always get these cartoon adverts, and they just never seem to go away. So, yeah, not with any sort of intention to. And I know some people like that, and it's not really. It's kind of weird, but you know, whatever floats your boat. But no.
We're not here to judge.
No, you know. And I think that's it. Oh, there's one more. The final question. If you're still with us, it's been quite a long time. Name the most useless and expensive thing you've ever bought.
Whew, that's a tough one.
What do you spend a lot of money on?
I don't know, penis enlarger. Just kidding, I don't know. That's the first thing that came to my mind. I really don't know. I don't think I'm...
I don't think I've... Yeah, everything I buy is normally for a reason. I mean, I buy a lot of games that I never play.
I saw your library. Yeah.
I do indeed. I think on my Switch I've got like 512 gigabytes of games, and of course I've never ever played 90% of them. But I do like to spend a lot of money, and on Steam, of course. You know, you get those Steam sales back in the past. Every single time, every summer sale, winter sale, I will be buying all the deals. Never played any of the games, but I'm sure they're all brilliant. And you know, thanks to Lord Gaben, of course, for providing those. But that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you enjoyed the scene, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the show here at We Play's Tug of War Mad Moon. That's it from myself and Lacoste. We'll see you out.
Bye bye.
What keeps you going when all goes to hell? What separates a good player from a champion? How do you overcome the odds? How do you make the impossible? It's a secret.
What will they say about you?
That you don't belong here.
That you're not prepared.
That you don't have the skill for it. Or maybe they will say
That you're not human.
That you cannot be stopped.
That you make it look easy.
But no matter what they say, you just have to follow your dream.
Be initiative.
Get mad!
make a comeback.
Trust your teammates.
Control your emotions.
Make the right call.
Don't be afraid to lose, but do everything to win.
So how do you make the impossible? It's a secret for everyone, except for you.
Team Secret has not lost a series since they were eliminated from the International 2019. Now, I know I said that yesterday as well, but I didn't say who eliminated them, who won that series against them. It was this exact squad of Nigma, then Liquid. And we're going to find out if they can do it again or if Secret will take the crown. Welcome to the grand finals of Tug of War Mad Moon. I'm here with Lizard, I'm here with Gods. I am expecting this series to be fireworks. We saw these two against each other a couple days ago, and it was hype.
It's going to be a lot of fireworks. Odie Pixels backstage getting ready for it. We heard about some of his pre-casting routines. That's why I got out of there quick.
Do you have any comments, Shiver, on that?
No.
Nothing.
Did you learn more about him from that video? Or did you know
Maybe a little bit more than I didn't want to know. He's too brutally honest for his own good sometimes. Although he kind of was joking. I hope. No, let's let's talk. This is gonna be a hype match already. We obviously just saw Nigma, so they have already played today, but they played two quick games, one game a little bit closer than the other. But I think that's nice. I think that's the way that Nigma likes it. They like to have long routes to grand finals or long routes towards the end. They like lower brackets. It's paid off for them.
Yeah,
right?
that's their motif. That's what they're known for. That's what they have that famous quote about. It didn't work for them in this recent TI. It's worked for them at the previous TI before that, or a few TIs before that. So they're no strangers to the lower bracket. Them playing a lot of games today isn't going to be a problem.
Yeah, I actually don't think that Secret had much to learn about them throughout this tournament. Like it's not like they had to study Nigma, because Nigma, they played pretty much the same way, the same drafts, the same style, but they just started playing much better in the last 2 days, and that's all that's changed. They just became more on point with their movements. Like in this game, in this matchup versus Virtus.pro, you could really see that the plan is there, that everything that they're doing is right. And once they find that crack, they just go all in. They don't stop. That was the Medusa with the stacks, with everything, with that minute 20 rapier. You know that they're very decisive there. You get that rapier, you end the game, you finish it. In the first match, the wardings around the rush, the playstyle, it's just on point.
Now we have seen Secret been challenged once this entire tournament, and that was against Nigma. That was that best-of-3 series. Do you guys feel like this series upcoming is going to basically be a continuation of that best-of-3, or will both teams feel like more fresh and, I should say, renewed coming into this best-of-5?
I think it definitely is a bit of a continuation.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah?
It's a bit longer of a pause, but I think so.
Yeah.
What I really love about it is not a lot of time has passed since then. It's grand finals, and this series should have its own meta.
Yep.
You should have their own heroes be picked up. I wouldn't be surprised if we moved from the bans that we saw in the last series versus Virtus.pro into completely different ones. Perhaps Chance and Enchantress banned instantly, and who knows? It will be interesting for sure.
It will be. We talked about this series, obviously, when they played earlier as two generals facing each other. You got Puppy and Kuro, obviously know each other very well. And I did mention that Nigma knocked out Secret at TI 9, but they did the same at TI 8 and at TI 7. So it's been 3 years in a row. And apart from TIs, it's normally been Secret that has the upper hand. Secret seems to falter a little bit there on the TI front. So I don't think we can call this revenge. The only revenge that Puppy will ever have is beating Kuro at the TI.
So Shiver, you're telling me it's time for them to lose some tournament versus Nigma that's not TI in order to win the TI?
I don't know.
Versus them.
The mind game.
Welcome your first finalist.
Alright guys, it's time to welcome Nigma on stage. They will enter via Cybertruck. And this is the Nigma that we thought we were going to see straight out of the gates when they joined the DPC season this time round. It took a little while.
This just looks so cool.
It does look very cool. And I think all this show is actually improving Nigma's performance as well, because they are a team that does better when they're on a stage, that does better under pressure, that does better when it's a show, right? And this is definitely one heck of a show.
Kuro and the whole squad, they're big stage players. When it counts, they deliver some of their best Dota. When they're versing the strong opposition, that's also when they deliver some of their best Dota. And, you know, as dominant as Secret has been, they are the best team in the world right now. But if there's anyone who could beat them at this point, it's Nigma, which is crazy to say, because Nigma's never going to be at the major, but they seem like one of Secret's toughest opponents that exists right now.
I think this tournament overall helped Nigma a lot. If you remember even them on the minors, that Kuroki interview, he said it himself, we're bad. He said it. Like, he was like, we can't find our form, but we're the kind of a team that will take time, and once we get good, we're going to own everyone. And it looks like in this tournament so far, they've been on that steady upward path.
It is crazy what facing a top-tier caliber team like Secret can do for you as a squad. It does really seem like Nigma unlocked their next level during this tournament, specifically during the match up against Team Secret. They're definitely the giants, and I think, you know, we talk a lot about Team Secret because they are the best team. We talk about them as the best team, though, and we don't really dissect them too much, because what is there to dissect? They've just been winning all the time, right? We don't have many things to work with. The crowd is ready to welcome Secret on stage. Who do you think, by the way, has the crowd's favorite? Because obviously they were first pro favorite, but they're up against. Actually, it's gotta be Puppy.
Yeah, it's probably.
It's gotta be Puppy.
He's the CIS favorite always, and here they come in another chest lock. This is the different one every single time.
Yeah. They all have their own.
Yeah, Alan has sent us a bunch of them here to work with.
Yeah.
Also, every talent here is gonna get one as well.
I'm not gonna fly back home tomorrow. No, I'm gonna drive. You know.
I don't think I have any electrical charges in Bosnia for the Tesla.
Oh.
No, that's bad. I have to move now.
My power outlet, I'm not sure if it's gonna like it. I do like, by the way, Small Time Finito, every team going on stage does have a little bit of a different theme. Secrets is a lot more light and mystical compared to the other squads, but definitely still very hype, and they are also ready to play here on stage in the grand finals. Team Secret, the team that has so far played the least amount of games. They played 9 total, while Nigma, after previous series, they played 18, double the amount. And with Puppy speaking Ukrainian, he's going to be able to address the crowd there for a little bit as well.
He just told him, I have huge respect for you, and I just want to tell you that you're a very beautiful young man. That, at the start, at least.
I don't know if you're trolling or not.
I'm not trolling. I'm
okay.
serious.
Well, normally when you ask Puppy something, he'll say something that it's a secret. So we can just imagine what he's asking. How will you beat them? It's a secret. No?
He just said that he really loves to be in Ukraine. He wasn't here for a long time.
And the Na'Vi chant begins.
Yeah.
This crowd has been cheering for Na'Vi for years. It's close to it, not close to a decade. No, close to a decade, definitely.
Absolutely.
And the guy on stage right there, Puppy, has been the captain of Na'Vi for at least 5 years, 4 years, 4.5. He played at four
TIs with them.
them.
He didn't captain all of them, but he was at 4 TIs with them.
Yes. So definitely a staple name there. And I think he lived in Ukraine for a while.
Probably
during those times
when
as
he
well.
played for Na'Vi, right?
Yeah.
He also said that he likes to play versus Kuro, and you'll see what happens. He definitely liked playing with him back. Those were the days.
Yes, those were the days. And then something happened, and then drama was on the menu for a little bit. And now they seem to have made amends. Now, that didn't stop Kuro from winning a TI without him.
Yep.
And I think that they're still... Kuro and Puppy are the only 2 players left in the scene that have been to every single international. And I kind of feel that is a rivalry that is only going to end once one of them wins another TI.
We're going to see these guys in TI Grand Finals over the coming years.
Yeah.
Hopefully against each other, but they are the 2 most successful captains of all time. They are absolutely...
Notil would like a word.
I think more looking at the over a long duration. Okay,
yes, okay. Salvaged.
Sure.
Saved.
No. In terms of, long-term legacy, they've been around for so long. They're the historic old boys of Dota, whereas Notil, he came over from Heroes of Newerth 2014-ish. But yes, these guys are going to be playing in more TI Grand Finals. They're amazing captains, amazing Dota players, and it's a great rivalry.
It really is. Let's try to pick apart Team Secret a little bit here, because we're going to see Nigma making dents in their armor, which they already have. We've already seen the strength of Nigma once they are able to determine tempo. That's something that we're obviously going to look towards, especially during the draft, see what kind of strategy they come up with. But I also want to focus a little bit on Secret as a whole and Secret mid specifically, because they are major champions, and during the major, every time Secret was brought up in conversation, there was one overarching comment about this team, is that Nisha is the best player in the world at the moment, period.
It definitely feels that way. He's just a genius. The way he plays his heroes, it just feels so seamless, so easy. He innovates as well in his heroes because he knows them so well. The skill build on Morphling is something different from him. Works super well, always has farm. In team fights, he just you can't catch him. He's catching you all the time. He's cleaning up your supports. Then he's coming for your cores as well. Hide your cores, hide your supports.
It's where it's also exciting that OG is coming back, because if there's anyone to contest him, maybe it's Pops.
Yeah, definitely. I cannot wait for the match of Secret versus OG, and I hope it is in the finals. Maybe that's the first time they meet. I don't know. That's wishful thinking from my part. But yeah, that is definitely the only one so far that is coming close. We are gonna watch Nisha play against Weeha. I feel like Weeha has had a good tournament so far, though. He's been doing good.
He's been doing well. There's a couple of games in which he wasn't really that great, in which the opposing team did manage to shut him down here and there. But overall, he's improved. He's been doing much better than before. But I see this problem with him. It's that tempo that you guys talked about earlier. If he loses that one step in that tempo, he just falls behind and can't really find himself. Perhaps that's something that Secret could abuse. We have seen VsPro do that in game 1. Unfortunately for them, they threw all their advantage away in that last push. I think if Secret copies that, does the same thing for the first 45 minutes, but in the 46 they don't dive the fountain, that's the recipe for success versus Nigma.
Yeah. We also, when we talk about Weeha and the mid lane, we have to also talk about Weeha as the newest player on the side of Nigma, formerly Matumaman. Matumaman now picked up by Secret. There's a little bit of rivalry there that I feel like Matu at least already got some recognition from winning, of course, the previous major where he said, "I was not the problem." It's good to get confirmation from that, you know. And he said it in like maybe somewhat of a jokey way, but I can only imagine that is just a relief as well. Yeah, like definitely.
It's like a I've still got it kind of moment.
Yes.
Like I can still be a carry player on the best team in the world and hold my own. It's not Nisha carrying Matu. It's everyone contributing to Secret winning Dota.
I think it's many different things that are difficult to really pinpoint within a team. What's making them lose it? It shouldn't be only blamed on Matumba. I don't even think they blame Matu that much. Even with that kick, it's just like you're trying to find a solution to your bad streak. You're trying to find a fix, right?
Something needed to change.
Something needed to change, and Matu, he was the one that they decided to change. I don't think they all obviously knew just how much value that brings to the team.
They talked about it as well at length, right? Where Kuro said, like, we didn't necessarily thought that Matu was the problem, but we needed a change.
Yeah.
And obviously it worked fantastic for this squad. They got second place at TI. So it
was the right choice for them.
Exactly. Matu was not the problem, but at the same time, Team Liquid at the time had problems, and kicking Matu was a good option for them in a real sense, where it helped them improve. It
gives you fresh energy. It's not even like Vihai is better than him. It's not like Vihai brought too much to the team. He did in his own way, but it feels better when you have some new change. You feel more optimistic. You're more confident, and confidence plays a huge part on high-level Dota. Like if you believe in yourself, if you believe in what you're doing, you'll find a way.
And we've seen GH specifically being very confident on that Elder Titan. That is now first phase ban material for Team Secret. We are in the draft, the first game of Grand Finals, and I wanted to still, before, maybe during the draft, I wanted to ask you guys about the chance of cheese picks, because we have seen these two teams, the first two games they played on Thursday. One was the last pick on the side of Secret where they picked Meepo, the other one was a Brood. Are we gonna see that again? Because it didn't work out for the Brood pick, it did in the end for the Meepo pick then, but there is so much cheese potential for these two teams.
Yep.
Are we gonna see it?
I mean, when you see the Elder Titan ban, right, Gods? What do you think about it? Instantly, Meepo comes to your mind.
Yeah, Meepo I think you've even said, Liz, you feel like the hero's almost maybe OP right now. Especially in pubs where you're playing this uncoordinated Dota. If you get 9th or 10th pick Meepo with no counters, it just feels like the game's over right there. Competitive Dota, a bit more structured. Teams are playing differently. It's not like this hero you can just pick and win the game with, but the right Meepo game, it can be devastating.
Broodmother maybe not as much.
Yeah.
They didn't really manage to win with that. I don't necessarily think it was only the Broodmother, but here we go. Instantly a difference. We see a Wisp picked up.
The Iron Tiny likely coming back.
Yeah, that gets a cheer from the crowd. I would not be surprised to see the Tiny picked up, also because it is obviously it's a great combination with the IO.
They go with the Timber. I like this, because if you pick the Tiny right now and you give that Timber Saw
actually,
away...
Tiny's banned. What are we talking about?
Oh, okay. They,
My bad.
They didn't ban the, of course. So they didn't ban the Eye, they banned the Tiny.
Yeah.
So,
Sorry.
We see the AR just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you guys, so-
But I wrote it down, and I was just writing down Timber, and I see Tiny. Oh, yeah.
it's a different tie.
Yeah.
Different one.
Ancient
Don't
Version
know
is
why this-
probably a very valuable pick here for Secret.
Yeah.
But the only problem is you already have the Snapfire. You don't want either of those two to be your position 4. You want Snapfire most likely to be Puppy position 5, right? And they need to find a different way to deal with the Wisp.
Well, they get some team fight and lockdown.
That's the N doesn't. It looks like a Wigma. Doesn't the N go the other way around?
It does.
I'm so confused.
Yeah, that's the Russian E, right? All right. Igma. Yeah, they're laughing at it as well.
Yeah. It's the thought that counts, you know? All right, so we are in the second ban phase. We have that Faceless Void, and we saw Nigma win with that in the previous series. And the criticism of Faceless Void is, of course, super long cooldown. Still, we see it succeed so many times, though. But the combination of Snapfire Void, too strong to pass up on.
It's this like guaranteed team fight victory when you have the Chronosphere. The problem is what happens when you don't have Chronosphere. I think the other reason people really like the Void is he is a very strong laner with the Bash and the Time Walk to help just give him that sustain in lane. So he has a lot of good lanes. He can pressure for kills a lot of the off laners. So he does do a lot of things well, even though he has that long cooldown.
You have the time dilation and you have a good ultimate to work around. Now you can think about what you can give Nisha, and Void will most likely be played by Matu, right, on that safe lane. We'll see. In the safe lane versus that Timber, so I don't think Void will necessarily have the easiest time, especially with the Wisp, even though if you work around that time dilation and Snapfire, you do have a lot of firepower.
Yeah, and we'll have to see where the Wisp goes, because also Nigma generally played it in the safe lane.
And that's true. That's very true, yes.
They'll have Kuro play his 5 position, supporting the off lane, so they kind of switch things up a bit. Medusa getting banned, you kind of have to consider what's the scary carries that IO's going to look to buff up and create a ton of stacks in the jungle for.
I thought like it was Secret that started banning out Lifestealer against Nigma in the first phase. Do you guys feel like that's still an option? Is that a combination to go with the IO that is decent?
It's really not the best one. When you're thinking about Wisp, you're thinking about different sorts of heroes that really get buffed up by overcharge as well. And if you're a lifestealer, you have that built in. You do have your rage. You don't necessarily need the Wisp to heal you up like that. But it's possible. They really, truly love that lifestealer, and it is one of the options for them. See what they go for here in the second stage.
Yeah, they banned out the Leshrac, who's typically good against Slark. So maybe they are looking for something like that?
If you're Nigma, you have a Wisp and you have a Timber Saw. What are you lacking? You're lacking stuns.
All right.
You're lacking any sort of push. With Chen, you get that. What you also get with Chen, yeah, still lacking stuns unless you get some Centaurs. But what you do get with Chen that's more important is an extra type of sustain utility hero. Now you have Wisp healing you. If he goes for Mac, great. If he doesn't, you're going to have it on Chen. Anyway, early on, you have these 2 heroes that will bring so much heal in that Chronosphere that even Chrono plus Mortimer's Kiss won't be enough to take people down.
And we saw that in some of their other past games with all the heals. They had I think it was the IO Tiny game, but they had heroes like Oracle sitting behind as well, giving them even more heals, more saves. That was the Oracle. He just kept spamming the heal on the IO. I think it's a similar idea with the Chen, where more heals, more saves, and Miracle is going to be on that huge late game carry that most importantly hits buildings. He loves to go for whether it's the Tiny with the Desolator build, the Lifesteal. I think as much as Lifesteal IO isn't really the best partnership, there's a very good chance they pick it because it's one of the best heroes for just sieging high ground when you hit your key item timings.
Do you then also want to see more save also from the cores, like OD comes to mind? Because obviously Oracle is already out, but would you like to see an OD as well, or is that too much?
I think it's okay. You can't play like expect OD to be greedy and get a lot of farm and carry the game, but it works. It can fit their draft. And against the Void, yeah, you never feel bad about picking OD into Void.
This Rubik pick overall, they did really well yesterday with it when they played it. Was it yesterday or the day before? Yapzor did a really good job with the Rubik anyway. He was stealing so many good spells. Just that extra duration of his stuns that he steals were great. But in this kind of a game, I'm looking at this Rubik, I don't see way too many great spells. Versus Timbersaw, if you steal the pure damage, whirling, it's great. Timber Chain is all right, but versus Wisp, there's not necessarily anything that you want to steal from him. Same pretty much goes for Shen. So it doesn't look like a great Rubik game, but overall, Rubik, you're still going to come into the lane. You're still going to fade bolt heroes, make them damage for -50, and then the lane is very difficult.
I can see the crowd is trying to form more letters. There's now two groups of people that have formed the Na'Vi name with their whatever they're called. Thundersticks. That's a Sven. Is that a hero that does what you described Miracle should be doing?
Hits high ground. I mean, I think his hero had to scale, go super late game, and hit buildings. Sven, absolutely. Whenever you have God Strength up, he can just position himself on the. He's going to hit this like 2-3 item timing that you get incredibly fast. Heroes that farm stacks in the jungle. I mean, his heroes all do the same thing. Whether it's Medusa, whether it's Sven, whether it's Tiny, it's functionally the hero that fits the exact same role. That flash farms, gets 2 or 3 items, gets an Aegis, takes racks. They don't. It's basically this, I'm going to sit on your high ground. If you can't kill me, then I'm take your X.
On the bright side, there for Secret, that is, there is some nice things to steal from Sven. You can't really go wrong with anything that you steal, I think.
Yeah, I guess you really want the Warcry or the stun, right, from him.
Yeah, that's, I mean,
that's
normally going to get that.
That's normally what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Overall, I like the Sven for multiple reasons. One of them is the fact that he's very tanky even before that chrono hits, right? He doesn't have to use anything. He will be naturally tanky. With a couple of heals from Wisp and Shen, he should be able to survive the initial burst. I value the hero a bit more than most teams right now. I think Sven is not in the best place, but can be played in certain games. I think in a game such as this one, when he's buffed up by Wisp, he brings an additional stun that they really needed. Is the perfect choice for Nigma. But Secret go with the Necro, though. It's one of those heroes that can deal with the Wisp, with the Timbersaw as well. You just need to get them to 50%, then you can sight them.
You guys think that it's going to be Zai playing Necro? It's not really a Nisha hero.
I think they lack damage if they run like a Necro mid with a Void safe lane. I think you want something a bit more bursty in the mid lane.
Yeah, it should be. It should. I think versus the Sven lane especially, the Necrophos should do really well. So
we're having an OD ban by Nigma themselves. We're looking for a mid hero for Nisha. We're looking for the ultimate overall last pick for Weeha. I mentioned Cheese at the beginning of the draft. Is there still an option for Cheese, or is that dead in the water?
Meepo into Sven's not great.
Brood into Sven also not great.
Yeah.
So probably not.
And for Nigma themselves? You don't really want to get a Meepo against the Necro either, do you?
You actually could. It's
Good
also
versus Void.
It's funny. If it was the old Aghanims on Sven, that would be even better. It isn't anymore, but overall, you know what? Like even for Team Secret, they ban it.
Oh, they ban it.
Right, they ban it. Yeah. But even for Team Secret, Sven is one of the best counters versus Meepo if he has a good timing. If he has a bad timing, Meepo can take over.
It will be the Morphling, the Nisha Morph. We've seen it before. It's a killer.
It's literally like this. You're playing versus a Sven. You need a lot of heroes that can kite him easily. And they do have some, but not a lot. And this carry is one of the best ones to do that, especially with the E-Blade Skadi build. Not only will he ghost one of his teammates, if Sven goes for them, he can also slow the Sven down with the Skadi. Then you have Necrophos with the Ghost Shroud, you have Time Walk, you have Lift, you have Cookie, you have a lot of built-in mobility spells.
Yeah, and he just doesn't seem afraid of any of those mid matchups, whether it's like Selena, the SF. This time it's the Puck. I like it because it gives you this long duration silence, gives you a bit more kill threat onto that Morphling. If you ever catch him when he's too low in health and he gets silence, he doesn't get the opportunity to morph string.
It adds the extra control so that Miracle can just go around punching everybody. I think that is the key here, right? We have talked about what Nigma's strengths are, mostly setting up high tempo after laning stage, after getting ahead. Do you feel like this is a draft that they can do that with? Are they fast?
I definitely think with the Puck last pick, they are fast. They also have the catch for that. Relocate Puck is a perfect finalization of this Nigma's draft, but I'm just wondering if we will perform really well on.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the only thing. Maybe it will be offlane Puck as well. I sincerely doubt it. I think it will be mid versus the Morphling.
Yeah.
I think it's a tough game for Nigma. Their Secret knows exactly what's coming their way with this 4 protect 1 kind of style. I think Secret have drafted accordingly. They have a lot of answers for this very farm Sven. So unless Nigma really snowball and get Miracle way ahead of everyone else, have that Alchemist style game where you're just 5k net worth ahead of the enemy carry, I don't think they're going to find an easy way to win this one.
All right, well, let's find out what's going to happen. Who takes the lead in this best of 5 grand finals? We're going to find out with OD Pixel and Lacoste.
Yeah, thank you, Shiva. Very excited for this one, ladies and gentlemen. It's the grand finals of the We Play Tug of War Mad Moon. I'm OD Pixel, joined by Lacoste. Secret versus Nigma. We've just seen the lineups, Lacoste. We're getting, again, here in the grand finals, still some sort of new heroes. As Sven crops up for Nigma, is it going to be any good?
Sven, yeah, he as a hero received some of the buffs. His Warcry got changed. Serious amount of damage in a short period of time. But there's a Necro on the other side. I love this hero. It doesn't pierce through BKB anymore. And the way Nigma has been playing is this 4 protect 1 strat, where they have one overfarmed carry fighting with no cooldowns. And so far, they have not been stopped.
Okay, yeah, we'll see if it works out. I mean, talking about the cooldowns, obviously with Secret's lineup having like this Void, the Necrophos, a lot of sort of longer cooldowns to play around with. But you don't think that's going to be too much of a problem? Do you sort of see Secret's lineup getting to the point where once again we're just going to see this Morphling take over a game?
It's a really good Morphling game. They don't have enough lockdown for him. The only thing they have is Sven's stun and Puck, of course, to deal with him, but he could easily pop off. And it's Nisha's Morphling, so yeah, we've already seen what he can do. Also the combo from him and Necro, like shotgun into Reaper's side, it's extremely effective.
Yeah, well, and we'll see what does happen as we'll be able to get into the game quite shortly. And in terms of being able to deal and play against the power that combo is going to have later on, do you imagine this is going to be a match where Kuro and the lads, they're going to try and shut it down a lot quicker? You're going to see this sort of group up and go. Nigma's going to aim for another one of those victories that they've had a lot of success with, where they close the game up within like this 25-minute mark.
That's how they've been playing throughout this tournament. Even the games when they lost against Team Secret, they really gave them trouble. One game they should have won. It could actually be a 2-1 for Nigma in that previous series, but they want to group up around 20-25 minute mark and just push. Take the Roche and try to finish the game.
Well, we should be just about to get into the action. You see some beautiful shots with the crowd here. Of course, you know, VP, they didn't make it to the finals, but the crowd, they do not care. Having these superstars on the stage, Kuro versus Puppy here in Kiev, it couldn't be any better.
Yeah, we have the greatest region in Dota world, Europe against Europe. I can't complain, and we can't be biased.
Absolutely not. You know, what's the internet going to say about this one? That is the question. Everyone by their keyboards ready to make some comments about this matchup, ready to see if Nigma can bring it, take it to the level of Secret, or if Secret's going to be able to make this look like a walk in the park, something that a lot of the analysts have felt would be the case from the very beginning of this event. But Nigma, they have shown some impressive plays. They've come in with a very sort of entertaining style of Dota 2. One of the brilliances of this grand finals being a best of 5 is we know that throughout these games, we maybe are going to see a bit of experimentation, and as I say already in this game 1, coming in with a Sven is something different, and it's something we're going to see here firsthand if it's able to work at the top level against a team like Team Secret.
JJ, big fan of this Necrophos Parrot set, I see.
Oh, it's very nice.
Zooming in.
And indeed, in terms of who's playing what, as expected, of course, Zai will be rolling on the Necrophos down on the bottom lane in this off-lane position, and we'll see how many heroes they feel is needed to keep down here, because one of the sort of ways that Nigma has been able to run away with games, it has been where where Miracle's got that free farm in the safe lane, and he's been able to stay ahead for the whole match. We'll see how much sort of pressure Secret's able to put on him early on to make sure that this event doesn't just start spiraling out of control in farm in that sort of the initial 10 minutes after the laning stage that pushes Nigma to that point where they can close up games early.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, Sven has a built-in cleave, so he will have more farm than any other hero on the map, especially if they decide to make some stacks. Zai already getting harassed on the bottom lane a lot.
Yeah, straight in. As soon as he pops the death pulse, it's just a little bit of a heal, a little bit of damage. Nigma, they collapse onto him immediately. He'll get another heal out, but Zai, one more able to do. He's got the Fairy Fire. He'll be fine. Now they'll turn towards Miracle. Miracle's actually taking a lot of damage for this attempt. He'll get back in, but Zai with the heal. The Fable. They'll do it. They'll get first blood. They will lose. Zai in return, but Kuro, he's down. Double kill for Yapso. I mean, let's be honest. Yapso
You do
really
not want to give this guy a double kill at the start. Also, he got the solo XP for both of these kills, already level 2.5.
Yeah, Yapso's going to say, Zai, don't come back down here. You're going to go jungle. I'm taking this lane for myself. Top lane, Puppey will fall. Nigma's able to run down the Snapfire. But a very exciting start already. Both side lanes kicking off. And yes, you mentioned it. You've got to keep your eye on Yapso. Yapso Rubik, he's had so many games where you have this sort of start, you give him a double kill, by the 10-minute mark, he's going to be walking around with 10 kills in the bag.
Yeah, I want to see if he's going to go for Spirit Vessel build this game. It's extremely effective against all of these heroes. Chen, Io, plus Timbersaw. Zai, once again, getting harassed a lot.
Yeah, it's all part of Yapso's plan. He's like, come on, Zai, can you know, they just give up your life, give me the solo lane. As you know, Yapso is... Oh, he knows what size level 1 Zai definitely is still rather vulnerable to these two heroes, so just have to watch out a little bit down here. Seeing up top.
Region for Nisha, that's a big one.
Very, very nice. Be able to get the free reset in the lane. How's the CS going so far? Very nice for Nisha, 10 for 3 against the 6 for 1, so already a decent beginning for the Morphling. And in terms of this 1v1 lane, how would you consider it to be expected to go? The Morph obviously has a greater time of hitting the creeps, but you do have to be careful. Once the levels are there in the puck, he can catch you off with the silence and burst you down.
Yeah, you just don't want to shift everything into Agi in this kind of a matchup. There's a high burst damage from puck, no points in phase shift yet, but the thing is, he hits almost 2 times while you hit once, and that region actually helped him a lot. Will also be forced to bring more Flask and Tangos in that lane. GH dropping low.
Oh, they do it. The Snapfire could keep up. GH is able to duke it out. Still, Matu gets the bashes, but the regen's too much. He knows he cannot continue to attempt to go for GH. South will be cancelled by Puppey as he scatter blasts across the two of them.
They don't have the answer for this Timbersaw. The only hero who's good against him, at least after the laning stage. I mean, they have after the laning stage, don't get me wrong. You have Morphling who can turn into him. You have Rubik to steal his pure damage spells. But in the laning stage, once he hits level 3, level 5, you don't have anything against him.
Still, keeping eyes on that mid lane. It's Nisha is just, he is getting ahead by quite some CS. 17 for 9 against the 10 for 1. I mean, it really is just down to how comfortable you are on a Morphling, and I don't think there's anyone in the world that's more comfortable than Nisha on his Morph. He knows the exact numbers. He's never going to sit in a position where Weehart can burst him down, and with that in mind,
the cookie?
He can play with the regen and stay alive, see if Puppey can get in range. He will turn to trade towards Mind Control now, Matumba Man. But Mind Control, very, very tanky. Hard for them to really do much harassment on at all, as he's able to stay aggressive. CS, very nice for him, 20 for 4, 11 for 1 on Matu, definitely struggling against the pressure of this Timbersaw that's consistently in his face, thanks to the backup of GH Isaiah.
And you can't even try lane top, he's unkillable at the moment. If you want to get a kill, you should definitely try to go for Io, because Mind Control is not dying here.
Yeah, Puppey. He's able to hide in the trees, start to heal back up as Mind Control does continue to hunt, see if he can cancel the South, but Puppey gets the full use out of it. He's back up to full HP. Still a decent amount of mana to play with Mind Control, so he'll take away immediately half of Puppey's health after the full heal. Just continue to cause a lot of problems for them on this top lane. It's still, Secret, I don't think they'll be too fussed about the side lanes, considering they know that in the mid lane, Nisha, free farm, free experience, this Morphling is having a perfect time. Bottom lane, Nigma, able to dive in. Underneath the tower, Zai gets caught out. They'll burst him in the middle lane, a jump from Weehart, but there's the punish. The gank from Yapso. He comes in towards the mid. One of the reasons why Zai did go down bottom, but totally worth it for Secret. They're making this lane even more of a nightmare for Weehart.
I'm just wondering who's gonna rotate mid. Like, the only way you kill Morph if you silence him before he can get his Morph off and the Timbersaw when he's level 6. Otherwise, I do not see him dying.
Well, but yeah, sort of at all, right? Sort of down the line, it's not going to get easier to kill this Morph as the game goes on.
It's going to be really tough because they're limited on the catch and on the control. We saw Nisha playing against No One Shadowfin. He did a mistake. Like, he morphed everything into Agi, got too raised and just died. So he can make a mistake, don't get me wrong.
So far, so good for him, though. There's free farm for him. Of course, free farm still down on the bottom lane for Miracle, and those inclusions in the kills. He's going to try and go on Zion with the extra backup of GH. He can stand tall against the heals, gets the kill, and now turning towards maybe Puppey and Yapsor. Miracle will back off as GH starts to heal him back up. But Zai, it's... I mean, again, this seems to all sort of be going to plan for Secret. It's sort of part of their recipe of winning, right?
It's a trap,
Zai dies quite a few times at the start and then wins the game, you know? I feel like if you're a team playing against Secret and you keep killing Zai, you kind of know yourselves. You're like, well, we're killing Zai, but what does that matter?
Yeah, every single team have been there killing Zai multiple times, then suddenly in the mid game, Zai just does some amazing stuff, whether with a blink or a force staff. His positioning in team fights is extremely good. Oh, we getting pressured on the mid lane, has Dream Coil to work with.
Has been forced back. We'll have to take the walk back to base. No further regen on him, so more time where is just unable to keep a check on Nisha's Morph mid. Nisha gets all the space in the world right now. Bottom lane, again, moving in aggressively onto Zai, using the God Strength. It's a lot of damage, but Zai will be able to keep his distance. Miracle won't be able to quite finish him off this time. Kuro and GH sticking around, allowing them to do a good job of taking this tower down very early. 7 minutes into the tier 1's nearly falling. They step forward once again to Zai. Zai, he's got the Ghost Form. Miracle is playing very confidently with this health and the heals, and he will manage to get the kill. Another kill onto Zai, down bottom. They'll see if they can get more as they run over towards Yapsor. Miracle's low, but he knows with the sustain from GH that he can play as aggressive as he is. Yapsor and Puppey will be forced back. They won't die. Or maybe, well, not yet. Miracle again. Charging in, Yapsor will stand strong underneath the tier 2. They won't be able to catch him out.
Another confident death by Zai. As expected, they got the tier 1 tower. There's a lot of damage once he pops that God Strength. Extra damage from Warcry and the Alpha Wolf on top of that.
Oh, look at this, Nisha dodging the stun from Sven, just turning up against the three of them, trying to get a fight going. He sets up Kuro to be killed off by Yapsor's Fade Bolt. Miracle will charge towards the Rubik, and Yapsor, without any regen left, will fall in return as they'll get the trade. But Nisha, he's still around here. He still knows how strong he is as this Morph and can continue to fight these two heroes. GH, he'll get himself away with a further tether. He will live. But already you're seeing how comfortable Nisha is. He knows exactly where to use his power, and at such an early time, 8 minutes in, he's trying to leave this mid to get things going elsewhere.
Yeah.
Overall though, 2k lead for Nigma. One of the lanes we haven't talked about too much. This top lane does continue to just be free farmed, soaked up by Mind Control's Timbersaw, and Matuma Man's Void is having a slow start.
Puppey in a little bit of trouble. Where's the orb? Yeah, I don't think that's gonna hit.
Oh.
But this one will.
There we go,
4 points. I love that. Extremely effective against the Morphling, against the Necrolite and Faceless Void as well. You do not expect this kind of a long silence this early on.
It's mid, Nisha.
Silence action.
Yeah, tries to catch out Weehaw, but Weeha's quick with a face shift, does jump away, but Nisha reads the movement. He's on top of him, there's no spell left for Weehaw. Nisha, I mean, you know, it's sort of, you pick a puck against this guy, sure, you're going to be able to pull off some plays against him, but Nisha is going to be ready to turn into the puck and pull off plays against you himself.
This is why I love this combo. Morphling plus Rubik. You have one good spell, well, we're going to steal 2 of those.
That's true. Yeah, there's a lot of spell stealing that Secret can use to their advantage this game. Top, more aggression from Mind Control. He's sort of slowly and silently been sitting here on the top lane, getting stronger and stronger as the Timber. Secret will start to pull more resources into this area. They're going to relocate in to dive for the easy kills. Mind Control will deal with Puppey. Puppey bounces away as he swallows on the cookie, but Mind Control's on top of him, slaps him down, gets the kill. Up in the tree line, Yapsor's been surrounded. Miracle, GH, and Weehaw will find themselves the second one. Nigma coming to this area of the map where they know that they're at the strongest at this moment in time. Miracle will be brought back to the mid lane. Just a bit of a punch onto Nisha, knows that this isn't a kill they can get. So Nigma, they realize what they can do. They know that Morphling cannot really be threatened right now. They're just trying to do their best to feed off of everyone else on Secret side lanes.
The thing is, this Nigma's lineup could easily just explode. Sven needs one item, Mask of Madness, which will increase his farming abilities on top of 3 points in cleave already, and he's going for that Crystallis. This is the most efficient, cost-efficient item in the game right now.
Plus 45 damage for 2130 gold. And you know, that's before you account into the crit that you get as well. And what better hero to use it on, and you know, what better sort of timing to play with. You know how Nigma likes to move. They're getting aggressive, diving in on the mid. There's going to be a TP in top lane as well. Mind control causing havoc for Zai as he's diving under the tower. Zai is not going to have any sort of backup come in because the rest of Secret, they've gone towards mid. Zai's going to try his best to run this one away. Mind control, he's got enough mana to finish off the kill. Doesn't look like it. Focus back to mid line. Coil comes in, over they go. Matsu doesn't get the chance to Time Walker, drop a chrono. They've lost the Void. Nigma, they're turning up the heat. As 2 die on Secret, Nigma, they're starting to get that momentum going the way that they've been winning many of the games this land. And finally, up top, Mind Control will cut down Zai. He cannot get away. They are speeding things up. Only Nisha's Morph that holds some sort of strength right now on Secret's lineup. Zai and Matsu, they are crumbling. They're falling further and further behind. And Nigma, they're making it hurt for Secret.
All these pieces are coming together very quickly for Nigma. You're going to have a mech on Chen. Io's getting the items. Sven, once he gets that Crystallis, all it takes is one bad fight near the Roche pit. They're going to get that Aegis, put it on the Sven. Even though he's not the greatest hero to have Aegis on, he's still the tower sieger for the team.
And with sort of the farm he has, even if he pops the God Strength and dies with the backup and buffering of the Io, he still hurts without the God Strength. You know, don't get me wrong, this hero is still strong considering how farmed he is this early on. This tier 2 take and Secret showing no interest in defending it. As 12 minutes in, Nigma really starting to take control of Secret's half of the map.
Yeah, so far, Team Secret took 0 towers. They need to put some pressure on the bottom, but the Nigma is not stopping.
I'll see if they want to try and push up to high ground. It's only 12 minutes in, but Nigma, they are going straight up. Secret, they've got to respond to this. TP back from Yap Stores. They'll start to nuke them down. Try and put a stop to the Reaper Surge there, but the Hand of God Miracle, he's back up to full.
Chrono!
Chrono, though. The Mortimer's Kisses, they continue to fly in. Do they have the damage, though? Secret, a stolen stuns out. They burst down Sven, cookie forward onto Zai. Stuns the 2 of them. They've lost 2 on Nigma. Mind Control, Kuro, and GH, they're doing their best to get out. The 2 supports will escape, as that coil holds them down at least enough to make sure that 3 of Nigma will survive. The Secret, they come in, they formulate a defense, and it's a very successful one, knocking out 2 of Nigma's cores.
Slow down there a bit. I mean, it's a minute 12. You don't need to hit the tier 3 towers. I think Sven still needs that item, and also getting a fight, getting the Roche for that Sven so he can do this kind of a Superman stuff is going to be necessary.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Yeah, you looked at the gold there. I think he must have only been like 100 gold away from the Crystallis. So he's effectively pushing in with 2k gold of his net worth in the bank. And early on at 13 minutes, that's a considerable amount of farm that you're trying to push without.
They did such a good job just baiting that Reaper side. They know where the threat comes from, and they instantly go into Roche pit. They know there's no Chrono, there's no Reaper side, so they can take a fight. This is how they've been abusing lineups that have high cooldowns.
And with that item now done, so last time that push was without the Crystallis. Now it comes with the crit and the Aegis. And you know that Nigma, they are not going to be taking their foot off the pedal. As soon as this is picked up, they'll be charging down mid, looking for tier 2s, and very much likely to be looking to try again to break the high ground. They know that Chronosphere, that incredibly long 2-minute and 40-second cooldown. Still 1 minute after that previous defense up top until it is back.
Faceless Void does not have a single item. I mean, it's a minute 14, but it feels like we're already 20-25 minutes in the game considering how fast the Nigma is playing.
Optimization from Miracle after the Crystallis, straight for that BKB. Knows that there is little to anything they can do through that. Sure, there's still going to be a Chronosphere maybe to hold him down, waste some of the duration of it. But in regards to killing him through the BKB, it's pretty much impossible for Secret's lineup right now. If Nigma can keep themselves grouped together. Secret's best bet to try and make sure that Nigma don't get the waves and opportunity to push up to high ground once more. Continue to buy time for Nisha, whose farm is still holds very closely to that of Miracle Sven. Itemization, he is going to queue up and go for that E-Blade rush. He knows they have to have some sort of power to just instantly wipe heroes of Nigma, get to the back lines, get rid of these supports that are providing so much sustain to Nigma's cause.
Secret is very vulnerable at the point. 3k gold lead for Nigma, and there's a 3 unspent gold on.
He's going to find the setup.
Nisha.
Here's the combo. Chrono into the Mortimer's Kisses. They've got to get rid of that IO, but GH still lives. The telekinesis is there from Yapzor. They separate the IO and knock him out of the fight. Miracle is going to try and continue to push on forward. He's surrounded by the 4 of them, and that's the Aegis gone. This was Nigma's move with the Aegis, and they've already lost it. They need backup. They need it now, Miracle. He's going to get it. Jumps across the silence. It catches out Nisha off guard. He cannot start to morph. The morph is dead, and now they'll look towards Matumba Man. He's into the trees and trying to hide, but Miracle and Weeha stay on top of him. The stun. Have they got further control? Another time walks there. Weeha won't be able to close the gap with the silence, as Matu will be able to sneak away in the trees.
Now it's time to go. They still have mech. Chronosphere is on cooldown for the next 2 minutes. They don't need that God Strength to actually take that fight. Crystallis will do the damage. A lot of attack speed from Mask of Madness and Overcharge. Time to go for that tier 3.
Yeah, they may have lost the Aegis, but for the ultimates used, that's totally worth it for Nigma. They know that they have no reason to back off. Up they go. Tier 3 starting to take a beating. Secret, they'll have Nisha back in a few seconds for this hold. See how much they can slow it down. Bit of an attempt on initiation on Miracle, but Zai, they just go for him immediately.
Reaper side.
He will live, turns, Reapers, they've got the heals. Keeps Miracle fine and above the threshold. He'll live. Dream Coil down onto the 2 of them. Stops Secret from poking for more. Looks like Nigma wants to go for a bit of a reset. They'll respect that Nisha's back in the game. They'll buy themselves some time, head elsewhere. There's still some free gold for them to clean up on the map. Tier 2s do still stand in that mid lane and bottom lane.
Yeah, they do not want to take another fight before Sven gets a BKB. They should respect more this Morphling who's about to finish his E-Blade on combo from Reaper side, and that shotgun also Fizzles Void Chrono will be up. Matu doing a good job on the bottom lane, trying to get some gold for his team. And Puck denies the tower, sadly for them.
In the jungle, Secret. They're coming out. A Miracle, Mind Control, and GH, they are ready to turn and fight. Yapzor, he'll be the quick focus first. Rubik is gone. Zai and Puppey have to go immediately back towards the high ground. They cannot try and fight Nigma outside the base, particularly when they are a hero down. As they'll get out of there, they'll keep their distance. Nigma's got the mid lane pushing in. They'll take another tier 2 tower. All of these towers pushing Miracle closer and closer towards the BKB. They need Nisha to hit those items. Will find a good one. Does manage to pick up the Pupil's Gift on Morph. So adding additional stats to the potential combo that's about to be unveiled. Few hundred gold and the E-Blade will be done. So now at least Secret, they can look to just delete one of the supports. Get rid of this Io, get rid of this Chen, so that there is that opportunity for the Reaper side plays to come in. Because so far, every single time Zai's gone for a target, there's been more than enough heals from Nigma to keep their core safe.
Yeah, if he uses that Reaper side, there's going to be mech plus Chen ulti on top of Magic Wand. They need to cut into backlines, find this IO, find the Chen, because they're providing too much heal.
They're going to try for Mind Control, but Weeha's going to be in with the counterplay. Gets the 3-man silence down the coil. Puppey's in trouble. He's trying his best to duke it out. Matumba Man comes in with the Chrono.
Get that IO.
Damage to get rid of the IO. The Hanagal comes out. GH is still alive, finally falls. They'll kill off the IO. He's gone for 30. Puppey buys back. He knows with the numbers advantage, Secret, they've got to try and push this fight. Zai, he's in trouble. The cookie save comes into play. Puppey will get Zai back up to the high ground. The Spyback keeping that Necrophos alive. Puppey from the high ground.
There's the E-Blade.
Shoot out the Mortimer. Nisha in with the E-Blade reveal. Goes towards Miracle. They cut him down. The Sven is gone. And now they'll go for Mind Control. Nigma, they've lost 2. They're going to lose a 3rd. The Bash is in play. Mind Control will fall. As Nigma lose a bit of a painful fight here. Secret's power starting to show. Nisha, he's played it smart. He played for this timing, focused on getting the E-Blade done, and now Secret, they've got the resources to win these fights.
That's exactly what they needed, that shotgun. Sven still does not have a BKB, and they overextended there a little bit, not respecting the damage coming out from Team Secret. Also, Secret, they understand where the threat comes from, killing the IO first. I'm not sure if IO had the buyback there, but if he had, I'm pretty sure that he would buy back.
Yeah, we dead for 30, and I mean, it must have just been the money. Was short and unable to get back in.
Oh, there's some also miscommunication, if I remember correctly. Chen was going for mech, and IO ended up going for one. I'm pretty sure I saw Buckler and Headdress, yeah.
All right, yeah, a little bit of sort of money off the mark there. I mean, you can imagine Nigma, there's evidently some sort of panic. They know that they cannot allow this game to slow down. If it slows down another sort of team fight or two, suddenly this morph's going to be in territory where Nisha can rule the entire fight. They've got to keep going, Nigma.
There's the BKB.
Here we go. Looking towards Nisha, he's already shifted heavily into the strength. Is there any further control to kill this man? He's silenced. Miracle's coming in around the tree line. Nisha, how's he going to play his way out of this? Turns into the puck. He's got the orb to create a good amount of distance. Jumps over with the silence. Goes for the TP. There's no way to cancel it. Nisha outplays and escapes.
Very nicely done. Also, they should be worried about those stolen spells. They have Rubik, they have Necrolite, so any kind of a silence, any pure damage coming from the Timber. So once the BKB is down on Sven on top of Shotgun.
Relocate move comes into play. Zai was trying to silently push out this top lane. I don't know if there's any way he can escape this one. They brought the full 5-man in, and Zai
Kamikaze
may have got the wave pushed out. You know, he's managed to take a good amount of attention away from the base, but he'll lose his life for it. Still, this is sort of Zai things. Yeah. You know, this is absolutely no reason to sort of get too worried if you're a Zai fan out there. This is all part of his play.
He's buying time for his team. He understands that Faceless Void still needs more items to be efficient. Mask of Madness plus full Maelstrom finished on him. Also, there's a lot of heal on Team Secret side. You have Necro, he already finished the mech. Also Cookie, anything stolen from the Rubik as well, if you can get the Hand of God.
Yeah, a lot of counter plays potential, and then YapzOr, he's always going to be in position to find those steals, no doubt about it. Nigma being a little more tentative about how they approach this high ground once more. That whole early push up top ending in a bit of a disaster, and then that fight around mid, it really has slowed things down for Nigma. Suddenly this lead that they were starting to grow and get closer towards potentially taking some of the base away, it's come back right back down.
Next Roche could be up pretty soon. That's what Nigma is waiting. If they can play around Chrono, not lose anyone, or just have buyback on the target that they go for. So right now, GH should just stay for the buyback because he's going to be the primary target.
Yeah, they've got to make sure that he's ready with that second life. One of the sort of the age-old counters to these spells, such as Reaper's Scythe and Chronosphere.
Well, not the old Reaper's Scythe, when you could not buy back. Ice Frog, I'm looking at you.
Oh, yeah, back in the day. Disabling buyback. It may come back one day.
How is that even in game? Like, how is that allowed?
I mean, it's. Yeah, you got to be honest though. It's very satisfying. You played a pub and you were playing Necrophos. It was the ultimate tilting tool. Taking someone out for a good 2.5 minutes and no counterplay at all. But of course, with the state of the game at the moment, there is that answer, and GH will be making sure that he's got the gold and he's ready to come in with those buyback relocate plays to keep fights going the way of Nigma. If he does take sort of the whole brunt of the initiation from Secret. Nigma.
Zai, solo ganking Mind Control in mid lane, not very effective.
Bit of a tickle between the two of them. I mean, Zai knows as long as he can sort of hold this wave at the same area that Mind Control's bringing it to, it makes it harder and harder for Nigma to start going towards those tier 3s again. Miracle is watching from the sideline, but as close as he is to the base, there is a chance to get in bottom lane. A quick pick from Nisha and YapzOr as Weehigh's grabbed and nuked down. Mid lane, Snapfire Cookie to set up as they'll look towards the Timbersaw. He is big, he is tanky. Matuma Man's in the neighborhood. See if they can really try and go for this. They'll start looking for some bashes. There's going to be a buyback from in fact. Nigma, they want to fight this. This isn't Chrono and Reaper's Scythe, so they do have ways to take this fight Secret. They're committing with the God Strength. Miracle.
Look at Zai.
He's turning towards Zai. Will pop the Greaves. Ghost form as well. He's living.
He's just buying time.
He's trying to bait them in and set up for Matuma Man to come in with the Chrono. Now the BKB comes out. They'll commit with Sven onto Zai. Finally, they'll kill him. But they've used a lot. They've used buybacks, ultimates, BKBs just to kill Zai. They'll now find in the river Nisha. He is actually
he didn't get the morph off.
He didn't start shifting. He just said, kill me. He just snapped the coil and killed himself. He had ample time to start shifting. He was not silenced, but a rare misplay from Nisha.
Yeah, you rarely see mistakes like this on Nisha.
and he's gone for 40 seconds. He does not have buyback. Nigma, you know, not necessarily the biggest of windows, but it is a window and opportunity to maybe try and get something done. Chronosphere still up for Matumba Man, so not necessarily a clear opening to take racks, but definitely a tier 3 to be back on the menu with this Morphling out of the game.
Once they pick up bounties, he's going to have enough for buyback, but it's only 15 seconds left, and he has Glyph ready. Double damage to Sven.
See what they can get done here. Snapfire Cookie in. They've got the Reaper's Knife. Have they got a heals to offset the damage? They do, but the Chronosphere comes through. They're focusing the IO. Mortimer's Kiss is detected on the backlines, but the Weehunt in. Able to stop it. Can they get GH in time? They cannot. GH will live. They'll turn their attention over towards Matumba Man. Nisha, waveforms across. Matu will time walk away in time. Miracle pots the BKB, takes the tower. It's gone. As Nigma, they'll take the tier 3. They're ready to bail out. They don't want to try and push their luck for anything more. They've lost mind control on the high ground. They'll just do their best to get out of there.
I thought this not gonna end up this well for Team Nigma because it was such a nicely placed chrono. They already used every single damage, but V controlling Snapfire in the backlines, only one kiss.
Yeah, it was I think straight in, and the Yule Scepter just throwing Puppey up into the air and putting that whole combo to a finish. And without that, that would have absolutely been a dead Aya. So smart moves from Weehart to just constantly keep a read on the backlines of Secret. And these additional items do continue to funnel in for Miracle. He has a completed AC. Will look to run down Zai on his own, committing the God Strength and trying to chase for this. The rest of Nigma are heading up to connect him, but Zai a little too elusive. Back in the river, Weeha, he's dead.
He has no buyback. They can run into Roche Pit right now.
They absolutely can. With no puck, the team fight from Nigma has been heavily reduced. Into the pit they go. Nisha ready to sort of redeem himself after that bit of a slip up in the river. He'll go towards Roshan. He should be able to find this Aegis without any interruption from Nigma, and if they do try and take this fight, it's not going to be easy. Secret, they've got full control around the pit. And with no puck, there just isn't the initiation that Nigma required to make an easy play here. Maybe they can still look to walk in and take things, but already on the side, mind control nuked down by the combo. Nisha able to burst in with the E-Blade. This is now 2 cores down for Nigma. More than enough space for Secret to reap the benefits of Roshan. Grab this Aegis on Nisha. And ready to look for more. They'll head towards the top lane. Nigma, they're still out on the map. They've got to get out of here. Already trying to scout things out with the Mortimer's Kisses. They will manage to TP away before Matu's able to get in and look for a lucky bash.
Any stolen spell from Timbersaw, extremely effective. Pure damage. Yapsor just keeping that chakram for Timbersaw, especially when he's on low cooldown. So there's another combo, chakram plus Reaper Sight on top of E-Blade.
Of course, with that being the second Roche as well, Nisha not only having the Aegis, he's going to keep the cheese in his backpack. So you've effectively got to go through this more 3 times if you want to put a stop to him. And Nisha, sort of for the most part of this game, it has been another top-tier Morphling performance. He played it smart at the start, he hit these item timings, and he has become this threat that Nigma they're starting to panic about.
Talk about the perfect item, Craggy Coat on Necrophos to mitigate that physical damage coming out from Sven. Boils, Snaps.
Only onto Yapsor though. A bit of a weak initiation from Nigma as Zai just draws their attention away.
Please focus me, he says.
They'll kill him pretty quickly. Maybe they could get more. No, Weehar's been bursted. Matu, he's found the perfect setup. The Chrono's down to the 3 of them. Do they have the damage to get rid of the eye? They're focusing GH down. The Hand of God comes through. GH, he will live for now. Gets himself away. Nisha stays on top of them. The final burst isn't enough. Another tether across. GH will live, duking them out. Finally, Matu finishes the kill. BKB in a time walk to bring him back up to full HP. Miracle, he's going for the TP out, but
there's the back.
There. They have the TP cancelers. Miracle left behind. 3 dead on Nigma. Make that a 4th. Secret run over the fight. It's a 3K lead now. And those hopes that Nigma had early to close this game up around that 25-minute mark that they've always looked to do so in this tournament, it's really drifting away. Secret, they have the lead, and this game does not get any easier for Nigma considering the draft that Secret's sporting.
Problem is, Puck died, so he can't keep them in place, so Sven can actually deal the damage. Also, he does not have a clear target right now. Nisha, you do not want to focus this guy because he has 2 lives. I think someone popped the cheese, or he handed it to Faceless Void to use it. Did not see it in the previous fight.
And here's the push. Nisha as
still on Faceless Void, yep.
He can take these buildings pretty quickly. 20 seconds without Miracle. He's not wanting to use that buyback. He's holding on to it. They'll jump in with the silence. Nisha's quick with the shift. Just so hard for them to really get something going now that they're playing from behind. They'll go with the coil, but where is that follow-up? It snaps on Nisha. They'll force him back safely. A cookie.
That's a
bring
level
Matsu
15.
back out.
So some extra health restored from the cookie. Puppy, you could see him smiling. He's happy the way they're playing right now.
Yeah, definitely. Secret, against sort of all the pressure that Nigma was trying to bring this whole game, have now been the ones at 30 minutes in to run down mid, take the first melee racks of the game. As Nigma, it's going to be so hard for them now to hold on. 10, 2, and 7 on Nisha's Morphling. This man ready to carry this game to victory for Secret. And Nigma, their heroes, they don't offer any obvious answers to a late game morph.
They understand we need to try, go all in. It could be Owen, if they just lose one more fight, they just call it, because they understand their late game is really inferior to what Secret has.
He's in. He's found GH. Can they burst him in time? They're looking to finish it off. The Mortimer's Kisses are flying over from a distance. They've got the damage. Over towards Chen they go. Nisha looks for the easier kill. Kuro's out of the fight. And now they can continue to break down Nigma one by one. BKB popped by Matuma Man. They'll hold mind control off to the side. Yapso and Matsu pushing back the Miracle Sven. GH will go for the TP away, makes it out before anything's there to cancel it.
I love what Matu is doing. He's just chasing Sven, trying to get a bash on him or force him to use either BKB or his ulti, and then they just back off. These two cores on Team Secret, very slippery, very hard to kill if there's no control coming out from Puck's silence.
And that is all the control. The Sven Stormhammer is such sort of a weak initiation tool with the travel time of it. There's so many counterplays that Secret can pull off in time. It's all on Weehar to make those jumps, and he just hasn't found the opportunity to make those sort of fight-defining jumps at this point of the game.
They were prioritizing farm on Timbersaw instead of Puck. He was like more doing stuff, moving around the map because Sven was taking a lot of farm, and we can see that in terms of net worth.
It's just sort of a clean-up job now for Secret as they take away the final tier 2 towers. This bottom lane's gone. They still have the one up top to go for. They'll head back, and it will be Zai's mission to start shoving this lane all the way around.
Zai, always on Mission Impossible.
So he's sort of like, he's a Lone Ranger, likes to play out alone. I mean, and this is sort of your standard successful Zai scoreboard. 210, I think probably at one point of the game is probably 1-8 and 1.
You forgot 8.
Game.
That's the death number.
Yes, you know, that's the higher the deaths on Zai, the better he's playing. It's mid lane. Yapstor is found. Nigma finding an opportunity off the back of this smoke to start to pick apart the supports. Can they catch on to Puppy? The Dream Core has been used, and this is sort of the problem. Matsu's going to try and
zoning Chrono
play, but GH, he's not messing around. He's going to ensure that Miracle is safe, takes him out immediately, worried about any sort of further follow-up from Secret. Is that just the Chrono gone? It's sort of a bit of a sigh of relief for Nigma now that they can look to make these plays maybe once more if they do have the ability to get further smokes out, as that was successful in at least taking away one of Secret's members. Not a big one, of course, just to support Yapsor. The 3 cores are more than fine. That's where the real problem comes for Nigma.
They're still in this game. Sven, if he finds a good pickup, but the kiting potential, that's what I'm afraid of. You have these 2 cores who are pretty hard to kill. You have a 4-staff, a Necro, also pretty hard to take down with all the items, also Craggy Coat for some extra armor.
And down lane, on the bottom.
Shortest Timber Chain in history.
Puppy is going to put a stop to it with the cookie. Extra yours control, buying time for the rest of Secret to come across here. Weehar's going to look to try and jump into the backlines. They do get the stun up, but already the BKB's there. Matsu holds his ground. They'll turn and see if they can get these kills with the Reaper's Scythe. Won't be enough, but this Fed is taking so much damage from Nisha. He's just too big on the morph. The right click hurts far too much for Nigma to deal with right now. As Secret, they just clean up with ease. Their lineup plays itself so much more nicely than the heroes that Nigma have here, as every single engagement just seems to be impossible for Nigma when Secret have the full 5-man mind control. He's got no escape. This game is seeming to be in the books for Secret.
Once you get that Scotty, Sven is pretty much crippled, can't move in a team fight. And they're doing a good job now focusing the Sven. If they have eyes on Io, of course they're going to focus him, but Sven can easily go down as well.
This high ground is falling. This bottom lane's going. They put the fortification. Secret, they see an opportunity to move mid and to continue the bloodshed over towards Kuro. He's glimmered, but Nisha has no mercy to spare. As there'll be a buyback from Miracle, but he's without his Timber Saw, his Chen. Not that it feels like it matters at this point with how far Nigma are behind. All they can do is sit back and watch Secret take out a full second set of barracks. Secret, they've just been masterful in the way. They knew exactly how Nigma was going to want to play this game. They turned up with a draft that was very clear on the timings they wanted to work towards. Secret, they kept their cool. They made sure they lost nothing other than a tier 3 inside their own base. They brought the entire game for Nisha to get out as he does. He's so good at reading the positions. Whenever a team is trying to play as Nigma is, going in with these 5-man pushes, Nisha always knows what areas of the map he can go to and make sure that his farm stays consistent with a team that's not only getting kills early, but also getting objectives. Nisha, he never falls far behind.
They're still respecting Team Nigma, but they planted 2 nice observer boards to see any kind of movement coming out from Nigma.
And they're coming straight back in, Matu.
They just wanted Chrono to be back online.
Looking for a Chrono to end this game. Kuro. He's out a little too far forward. Matu's going to jump in. He's caught Kuro. He's caught Miracle. Over they go to the Sven. GH, has he got any safety to offer? Can he get him out in time? He cannot. Miracle dead for over 2 minutes. That was the Chrono to end the game. Secret, they'll run down mid. The tier 4 will fall. Nisha standing
popping the mango,
holding them in the base, stealing the mangoes, killing off GH, at least trying to do the base. Oh, Nisha! Okay.
Killing himself, sorry about that one.
I don't know if this is going to matter, but Nisha does die to the fountain. Secret, they are just focusing the base. I don't think Nigma's going to be able to push them off, or are they? A stolen Dream Coil from Yapsaw is used, catching out the 2 of them. Kuro's going to be back up in 10. Zai's getting a little bit low. They do have the dagger. They actually burst down Zai. Okay, Zai and Nisha buy back. Matu desperately just trying to finish this game. He says, boys, stop clowning around. This game is ours. I'm hitting the Ancient, but he's actually not going to be able to do it.
Morphling is coming. He needs 5 seconds to be back in the base.
All right, Nisha, can he put an end to this? He can. Weehar's gone. Over towards the Ancient they go once more. Another jump in's there from Weehar. Does buy back, but the Ancient's already fallen. Secret will clean up this game 1 as GG is called.
You do not expect this kind of mistakes to happen from Team Secret, especially in the grand finals. They're a very disciplined team, but
yeah, a little bit clowning.
Yeah, they were. Nisha won that when he snapped the coil without using the morph, now dying on the fountain, but still in the end they won the game.
Yeah, sort of every other aspect of that game was just another clear victory for Secret. They knew exactly how to play against the strategy that Nigma's been so strong with. And that's got to be a worry, right, for Team Nigma. You've come into this match, you strategized in the way that's been working for you up to this point. It's not sort of, it hasn't cut it here in this game 1 against Secret. Sure, you're probably going to look as Nigma at saying, well, this Sven draft, we tried something different. Sure, Miracle was still able to hit the timings, but he was still hitting the timings on a Sven. This hero fundamentally isn't one of the strongest carries by far right now.
Still, Nigma looks very strong. It's the same way, the playstyle that they were playing throughout this tournament, at least the last 3 days, and it's working out for them. They're looking very strong. Don't get me wrong. I think the mistake was that they decided to go for 3-3 tower before getting the Roche, and this is where everything crumbled.
Yeah, and in terms of going into the rest of the series, what would you say is the biggest takeaway for Nigma, considering maybe the heroes the Secret have? Do you let Nisha have this Morphling again?
I don't think Morphling was the problem because they were playing very nice around him. Before he could get that E-Blade, they went for the high ground, but I still think the Roche part was the key.
All right, well, as quite a few times in Dota 2, Roshan, the aim of the game, and something that could really slip up teams and players. But there we have it. Secret, they will hold on in this game 1, turn it around, and get themselves the first victory at this best of 5.
Yes, thank you very much, Odie, Pixel, and Lacoste. We will be back with you for the second game of this best of 5 grand finals. I'm here with Lizard and Gods, and we're going to break down this first game. This first game, Nigma, Gods, attempted high ground at 12 minutes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It was kind of a cool idea, though. I didn't mind it.
Okay.
Void has no items. He has treads and wraith bands, you know. This Sven, he's only got Mask of Madness, but this Sven, his effective net worth is a lot higher than that. Okay, maybe he was actually had 2k gold and he hadn't bought his crystal, so maybe that wasn't great, but it's higher because he's got this IO backing him up. He's got all these heals, so he's actually got way more health than it appears. He's way more sustainable. He gets the extra attack speed, and it forced them to use all these ultimates to defend, and then they get rushed.
It felt rushed, but for a reason. I think Kuro wouldn't do such a rash move for nothing, you know. He knew what he had to be done, and he attempted doing that. They didn't lose a lot in that high ground push fight. They lost only the Wisp, I believe, in the Chronosphere, but later on, when they went back for the Roshan, when they got that crit on Sven as well, they did a small mistake, but still you can't blame them. They went for the high ground push again. They understand that they need to end this game before Morphling gets all his items, before he gets the E-Blade. They go to high ground, the Chrono catches Wisp and Sven again. Wisp dies, but they have no Chrono, so they're thinking, all right, let's push. And then E-Blade comes into play, Mortimer's Kiss, just from a mile away, and the Sven dies. That's pretty much where they lost the game. That's pretty much where game was broken in half, because you're playing into Void Morphling. You want to win late game.
It was a fantastic game to watch because, yeah, they were in a rush, and I'm sure some people sitting back saying, oh, they rushed it, they shouldn't push higher at 12 minutes in, but they had the right idea. They had the strategy. This was an incredibly close game. They could play this game again, and if these tiny mistakes don't happen, Nigma walk away with this one.
Yeah, they kept the pressure up constantly at the start. I mean, for a reason, as you guys mentioned. Was there anything, like, other than keeping the pressure up in terms of trying to take towers and trying to take buildings, was there anything they might have been able to change on the lanes to maybe give Morphling a tougher time?
No, they could have banned Morphling. Ban it.
You said yes to comment. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, you've got some crazy ideas here.
Just get rid of Morphling. You can't let Morphling go through to Nisha's hands. He's just way too good.
So this point in the game is the draft.
Yeah, exactly. That's where they could have changed something. He's the god on the hero.
That's the highlight right there. But no, could they like rotate more around? You're having an Io Chen combination of supports, and I guess that's not the most active duo as supports go, as far as supports go.
Yeah, they're laning supports, and that's where they probably felt thrilled about Laos picking a Morphling without knowing the matchup. That's just Nisha saying, well, any 1v1 matchup I get, I'll be okay, because the supports, it can't become a 2v1. I'm not going to get roamed on. Chen is not the hero he was maybe 4 or 5 years ago, where you get a creep or two and you just gank with smokes. No, the new Chen, you just thin your lane, you give your creep support to your carrier or your offlaner and give him some headdress regen.
Yeah.
Headdress regen, or that small cool assassin that attacks people and prevents them from regioning. So it is. Chen and Wisp really are all about the laning stage, and you could actually feel that in this game as well. It was the Rubik rotating mid, it was Weeha dying on that Puck versus Morphling. That's a Puck favored matchup. Overall, within the game, Puck is good versus Morphling. You have that instant silence, you have a lot of catch versus him. You're not gonna kill him off alone, but you are bringing that burst and that control versus him. So it is a good hero, but many times Nisha made that Puck look even better on their side.
Few mistakes though. Nisha, that death particularly... that was all of our thoughts watching that. We were like, Nisha, what? We were just saying you're the best Dota player in the world and you make that mistake? He just, I imagine, slightly misclicked out of the leash.
Yeah, I think so. I think that was the moment. At the moment that he snapped the leash, he realized his mistake.
I love they caught it on camera.
Yeah, me too. This is, of course, one of the fights that kind of spelled the end almost in favor of Secret. We see here everybody dying on the side of Nigma.
This fight actually makes me remember, Matu enjoying himself. This fight made me remember one good point about this Nigma's lineup. They have Sven, who just wants to be hitting everyone, running at you. But Sven, with the Puck, is their only control. And he was kited so well during these fights. I think one bad thing that they maybe can improve on is joining these fights with Puck and Sven simultaneously. Because if you have Dream Call on one side of the fight and then Sven pops God's Strength on the other, he isn't there to hit them while they are controlled. And then you don't kill them off easily early on. You're clumsy netted, cookied, time walked, waveformed. Like he can't catch anyone.
Yeah.
As far as individual performances go in this matchup, and we know obviously Nisha crushes it on the Morphling. Is there anybody that stood out for you guys that either over or underperformed?
I mean, I think it was a very tactical game. So even like the players that you can look at, like, you know, Zai dying a lot, it was intentional in a way. He's like running in, trying to clear creep waves. He's slowing down this push. He bought them a ton of time and space. I really liked how Zai played, even though he died like 8 or 9 times or something. it was very clever and purposeful. So I don't think there was an obvious player for me who underperformed by any means.
Even on the side of Nigma, I think most of them played well. We had a couple of awkward deaths on that mid lane, but can be blamed because the rotations were happening for Secret many times there. GH also played a pretty mean Wisp. Many times was he able to just escape with that tether away from some awkward situation. He was healing them all the time with sticks. They rescued Sven from almost certain death many times, Kuro and GH, in that healing tandem of Chen and Wisp. So overall, Nigma, I think they played their strategy well, but Secret, they played their strategy even better.
There was a little bit of a flaw then in the strategy coming into this game from Nigma. Although you guys are also saying that a couple of differences here and there would have allowed them to take the game in like 20-25 minutes. Maybe next time around they'll be able to do it. Do you feel like they're going to try something like this again? Because it feels like something that you can never really bank on. The fact that you are able to fully execute within 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
Yeah, I think if you replace the Sven with a lifestealer, that may have actually worked. I think it's been that what we just saw is very similar to what we saw from them in previous games, where it's like, let's get this high ground sieger, get a couple of items, and play fast.
Yeah,
Nigma's this early to mid game centric team that loves to just push the pace really quickly. And
what did they lack though? They lacked catch with stuns.
Sure.
And they were playing into a Morphling. How much would Lifestealers really do? Like,
well,
maybe it's their
you
comfort
have to
zone.
win the game by 20 minutes with Lifestealer.
Yeah.
Like
okay.
with that Armlet Desert timing, you win the game or you lose.
It would be maybe a little bit easier to push early on, but if you don't manage to, the outcome is still the same. It's the same style of a hero.
Yeah. It does still mean that you put all your eggs in one basket. Normally, I don't know, answer seems to be banning out Morphling will at least allow you to perhaps go late game against Secret when you have no Nisha Morphling, but maybe Nisha something else, you know?
A few days ago we were saying just ban out Monkey King versus Secrets.
Yeah.
And Matu is just pick me Monkey King, and Nisha is like, just pick me Morphling. It's a difficult situation when you have these two players that are on top of their game and they're also super confident. They just want their heroes to be picked and they'll carry with them. What do you do against that?
What do you do against
You can't ban every single thing that they play.
You're gonna take it instead?
That?
Does we have play Morph, or has it has to be Miracle, right?
I've seen him play. I think it's Miracle Hero.
It's Miracle Hero.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna find out if we're gonna have a Morphling next game, or if we are going for a ban on that one. We're gonna find out for game 2 after the break. What will the second game of this best of 5 grand finals have in store for us? We're gonna find out. Welcome back. Tug of War, Matt, Moon, Team Secret, and Nigma. One team will take home $130,000. If you come second, you get 60. Still nice, but there is a definite advantage to coming first here. And of course, on top of just having a championship to your name is always fantastic. I'm here with Kyle and Gods. Guys, what are we expecting or maybe hoping to see from this second game? Maybe what does Nigma need to change in order to get second game, other than banning out Morphling?
Yeah, the morph is a big problem. I liked how Nigma played. They came in with a plan. They showed some gusto, going for something that was so kind of all-in-ish, where they were on a timer. I mean, I think they could have won that game end of the day. I don't think they should walk away feeling like, oh, we had the wrong idea or we had the wrong strategy. We got out. I mean, they obviously got a bit outplayed, but
yeah, it's still though. It does feel a bit like maybe. I just feel like Secret are still the better team. And much like Nigma was against VP, and you can say, okay, yeah, Nigma's still better here. I think it's an uphill battle for them to take a game, let alone the series.
Yeah.
I like that they came out with a little tweak, that IO Tiny strategy replaced it with the Sven. And I appreciate that Secret were willing to play against the Wisp, right? We've taken away what you've shown is kind of busted and wins games.
Yeah.
Try and get it with that innovation. They were close to your point, but not quite enough to take it home. And we'll see how things change in this second game. Wisp is still making it through thus far, but once again, Secret take out the Tiny.
Yeah, at least this time round, though, Nigma is playing from the Dire side. That is their preferred side, so maybe a little bit more comfortable for them. They have played most of the games recently on that Dire side. Who knows? Maybe it helps them as well. And they do first phase the Morphling, which we did want to see.
Yeah.
It's always funny when you see a hero first phase banned when it wasn't first phase picked. It was the last pick of the draft.
Yeah.
And they're still saying, oh, we got to address this morph.
Makes sense. This is like the Secret special, right? Plus, it's even more powerful in their hands because they have multiple people that excel on it. I think it's another reason, if I'm Secret, you can let the Wisp stay. The Tiny is threatening because you don't know who's playing it. It's threatening without the Wisp, terrifying when they have it, and it could be a Weehaw hero, a GH or MC, anybody. And that's not something you want to allow your opponents to first phase.
Yeah, it's also, of course, Nigma having first pick, so they have the luxury of banning some heroes that they would otherwise be worried about first phase pick material for Secret. Feels like Secret might be at the moment thinking about whether they should still ban out the IO or maybe a Chen banned out here. What do you guys reckon? Slardar still in the pool, Nixus, Sasek, all these heroes still in.
I mean, the heroes we just don't talk about because they're always banned, like the Nix and the Slardar. That's what they're talking about, probably.
Did they first face Snapfire? Was that the initial ban from Secret?
That was the first ban, and last game it was
first pick.
Yeah, I think that is the right way to go, because while we agree, like on the Slardar Nix, the thing is there's replacements for what these heroes do in the game. There's no 5 position that has that kind of power level, and I'm glad that Secret take it out now that they're not first pick.
I don't know if I agree. I was about to say, Slardar to me, there's no hero that does what Slardar does. This hero, to me, I would much, if I had to choose between letting my opponent's first pick Snapfire or Slardar, I'm giving them Snapfire every single time.
I get that. I just feel like you can address what Slardar does a lot more easily than the counterpoint. But they will Wisp again, this time first phasing. It'll be curious to see if they change the partner. I think Gyrocopter is a possibility.
Or if they first to the Medusa. If they want Iron Medusa, you have to first to it because that was banned out last game. So maybe they say, we really want to get this comfort hero that suits our style, suits Miracle.
Yeah, and I really like that Nigma, they've sort of adapted what I'll call the mathematically busted strategies in a way. We saw them with the Lifestealer consistently going this Armlet, Deso, Basher build, and then the Medusa going Manta Divine. No one's had the balls to try the ladder strat in an event yet. But they did. They crushed with it. I like this a lot from Secret too. What do you do to deal with Wisp? Well, 1-to-1 counter it, remove regen from the game.
Timbersaw, just preventing that to be picked up as well. We have seen Mind Control being very comfortable on that. And also a pick for Nigma that they sometimes can flex with, because obviously Weehaw plays it as well.
10 seconds remaining.
You mean Secret?
No.
Talking about the Timbersaw.
I'm talking about
5 seconds. Dire team pick.
Yeah, makes sense.
There is the Bad Rider.
One of the most successful heroes in the tournament, Lifestealer.
Yeah, you hear it. You knew it was coming the moment you saw the bat, and this is what we were talking about.
I want to see that hero last game. I thought, even though it's not an IO partner, I think if they had that instead of Sven, their draft is actually better.
The thing is, why isn't it an IO partner, right? If you think about the new Wisp, he's just going to provide bonus. It just makes your hero better and stay alive longer. And Lifestealer, it's one of those
10 seconds
guys that, you know, maybe you get him 20%, but if he's still living, you pop the rage, the open wounds, you know, this hero's going to still eat you alive.
Dire team ban.
Especially against the Bat Rider, it's been a go-to for Nigma.
What are they banning out? The Void?
Razor Void banned on the side of Nigma. And the Oracle banned out on Secret while they are thinking about their ban pick combo.
The Oracle IO is the combo they ran one game. You just you spam healing the IO while he tethers your carry. It's this, this domino effect of heals. And yeah, Secret saying that's a cheesy OP mechanic we're not going to let you have.
Yep. We got to be thinking about illusion cores for Secret. I think a late pick TA is also a possibility. They could perhaps even Deuce it themselves if they'd like. The Bat Rider provides a ton of pick-off. And I like the AA for many reasons, even against the Lifestealer to an extent, because you remove his ability to heal within the engagement, which the hero often does quite a bit of, especially with that open wounds. And they pick Timbersaw themselves. Wow. Perhaps to deny it a bit, but it is very good against the Wisp.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great against Wisp and against Lifestealer
It'll be
as well.
interesting to see where it sends some of the other heroes like Bat Rider. Like, this is a flexible support or core, but...
That's why I feel like the first two bats a possibility for this team, because if you have a good lane matchup, sure, it's a Zai hero now. But if not, Puppy will play it as a 5. You're still going to land lassos.
And for all we know, it's going to be Ancient Separation for Zai. You know, they can mix it up. Don't think that will happen this game round, but we have seen them be flexible like that in the past as well. What kind of answer are we looking for? What kind of boxes do we need to tick to answer the Timbersaw? Because I know Lifestealer... Ooh, the Nix's Plaza is still in the pool. Obviously still good against Bat Rider.
Yep. It's a very, very good pick here. I will say weak in the laning phase against both heroes, though. It is a natural Spirit Vessel buyer, which someone is going to be wanting to pick up.